I'm Casey James with this Major League Baseball postseason report. And you can use any cliche you like. Back up against the wall. Do or die. Now or never. Win or go home. They all describe the situation that Los Angeles Dodgers find themselves in after losing last night at Dodger Stadium 4-2. They're down 3 games to 1 to the St. Louis Cardinals in the NLCS, and the Dodger offense has just been anemic, scoring only 6 runs in the 4 games. They're also like the walking wounded now that Hanley Ramirez has that fractured rib. He was hit by a pitch by Joe Kelly, a starting pitcher for the St. Louis Cardinals in game one, suffered the fracture, has tried to go and just is a shell of himself. Andre Ethier also playing with a bad will. He's got an injured ankle. He missed about the last 3 weeks of the regular season and first couple of games of the postseason. He can't cover ground in center field, and he's not swinging an authoritative bat. They're already without stud outfielder Matt Kemp, who was MIA most of the season, only played in 73 games. So the Dodgers really struggling offensively. And then you got Yasiel Puig. Either you love him or you hate him. He made some noise in game three to help the Dodgers win that game 3-0, but he spent most of his time striking out. So the Dodgers really struggling offensively, not able to score runs, and that's the problem in this series. They've gotten some outstanding pitching from both Greinke and Kershaw and Chin Ryu, who won game three and helped the Dodgers kind of get back in this series, but the Dodgers just not able to manufacture enough offense. And the Cardinals have not done a whole lot either. They've only scored 8 runs in the 4 games, but they lead this series 3 games to 1. They have an outstanding young pitching staff. They probably have more depth in this staff than the Dodgers do when you go from 1 through 12, all the way from the starters, guys like, of course, Lynn, like Macha, like Kelly, and of course, we see Wainwright, their ace, and all the way through their bullpen, who is deeper and more consistent than the Dodgers, and that's been the difference in this series. They've got just enough offense to get it done. They lead 3-1. I picked the Cardinals going into this series. There's no reason for me to change that pick now. And in the American League, boy, it is turning into a classic, with the Red Sox leading the Tigers 2 games to 1 after winning 1-0 last night and beating out Justin Verlander, who was ridiculous again with another 10 strikeout performance. The Detroit pitchers have had 4 consecutive games of at least 10 strikeouts, going back to the 5th game of the A's series, but yet and still they're down 2 games to 1 in this series. They won game one 1-0. They lost game three 1-0. In between sandwich was at 6-5. Come from behind, get off the mat, and put some life back into your team win by the Red Sox. Big Poppy with that grand line drive that Torrey Hunter almost killed himself out in right field trying to make the catch and end up going over the fence into the bullpen. But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, you have got a 2-1 series lead for the Red Sox, and this one is turning out to be a classic. I think it's going to go 7 games, and at the end of the day, I like the Red Sox in this series. So as I said, going into the postseason, I think it's going to be a all-red World Series with the Red Sox hosting the Red Birds. The St. Louis Cardinals and the Boston Red Sox are the teams that I say will make it to this year's World Series. But we will be here to break it all down for you all throughout this postseason and the way we do. I'm KC James, and I'll see you next time right here on the Major League Baseball Postseason Report.